What's up? Just wanted to make a quick video because something amazing happened yesterday. I wanted to tell everyone about, and I think it'll be encouraging to you, strengthen your faith and God's provision for you and answering prayer and these types of things. So just to give a little bit of a background, I had to go to the DMV yesterday, or they call it DPS in Texas, and they have been backlogged like crazy. In fact, in the location closest to me, they were booked out for months. You couldn't even make an appointment to go there just to deal with basic things. And some places 4 or 5 months out, you couldn't even get in there. It's totally insane. So basically what you have to do is you have to go farther and farther away from the city and find some random location where you can find an appointment. And so you're literally scanning over a map trying to find a place that has an open slot, and then get in there before someone else takes it and lock in an appointment and hope that you can make the appointment when the time comes. So I was scanning all around everywhere, finally found a place that was an hour north of me, and I locked into it, and it was like a week away. It was crazy how that worked out. Prayed to God for that to happen. So God answered that prayer. But then we come to the appointment. I got everything lined up, all my documents. I drive up there, and I sit down. They finally call my number. Everything's going good, and I give them all my documents. And then one of the documents was actually insurance. I usually always have no problem showing an electronic copy of my cards, and I thought it would be fine because they didn't say you needed a physical copy. I had physical copies of everything else. So they look at all the copies and they're like, no, we need a printed copy of this. And he's like, you need to go across the street to some office place and print this out. And you have to be back here in 15 minutes or, the appointment's done. So I was, that was frustrating for sure. So I ran out of there, went across the street, got the thing printed, came back just in time. I get back there, and then, as I get back there, the guy's like, oh, I have to go, take some teenager to take a driving test. So I just sit there and wait for that. Finally get back. He finally has me come back, go through everything. Now this is where it gets crazy. So go through all the paperwork. Everything's fine. He starts filling everything out. Then he takes my picture and all these other things. And then all the paperwork's all set. And he says, all right, now it's time to pay. And I use a debit card usually when I pay for things. It has a chip, but the strip is worn out on it. I need to get a new one. But most of the time I'm fine. I just use the chip, or if you need to online, you just enter in the numbers. Well, I go to look at the card scanner, and it only allows you, believe it or not, you think a government facility would have the most up-to-date technology, at least to be able to, scan a chip reader for a card. And it didn't have that. So I was like, well, I can't scan that. And there's no chip reader. And he said the number pad on the scanner is locked, so you can't even enter in the card manually. The only thing you could do is swipe it. It was, first of all, I thought that was insane that was the case. So immediately I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? And I was like, he's like, do you have cash or check? I said, I don't have anything else. This is all I have. This is all I usually do. And I'm like, he's like, well, I can cancel everything out and you can have to make another appointment. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to. So I start putting away my documents. And then out of nowhere, this lady was listening. She came over. She said, I'll pay for it. I said, what do you mean you pay for it? And, yeah, she said, I'll pay for it. And I said, can she do that? He said, yeah, anyone can pay. And I was kind of speechless for a second. I said, well, I mean, yeah, that would really help. I mean, I don't have any other option. I said, I can PayPal you some money to pay you back and blah, blah, blah. She said, no, don't worry about it. Do it for someone else. And she paid for the thing that I need to take care of. And it was just, and what was even crazier about this is that when I first got there, the lady was not there. But because I was delayed with having to print out the documents, by the time I went across the street and came back, the lady showed up after I got back from that. So God worked it out, so that helped the timing to be exact for that lady to be there to pay for this. And so after it was all set, I just thanked her again. I told her I was in ministry, and I said, I believe God used you. Just want to let you know He answered prayer and He used you to take care of this. And she said that's awesome. You can see her kind of getting emotional. She said she was a Christian too. I really, and I've been out there forever. I was like, just thank you. And I had to get out of there, and it was so amazing to see how God worked. It was so in your face, just showing how God made it happen. Because it's like we talk sometimes about when you pray for wants versus needs, right? Because it says in the book of James, you have not because you ask not, right? Because if you don't have something, it's because you didn't ask God. You got to ask God. You have to pray, right? Pray every day. If you don't have something, well, maybe you didn't pray for it. And keep praying, right? But then it says, you ask and receive not because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. So God also says, sometimes you ask for something and you don't get it because it was something that you didn't need, right? It was just something that you were going to waste money on, or whatever it is, something that you didn't really need. And so when something is a need, when you pray for needs and you have needs, God makes a way. If you pray, you trust God, He makes a way. He makes it happen. And when you live by faith, you watch these things too. You pay attention. You see God work so powerfully to open doors to take care of your needs. And it's just mind-blowing. God has been so good, taking care of me and my family, and blessing and providing. It's just an amazing thing to see. So I just wanted to, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share that because it was so amazing. Obviously the hand of God was there, and I wanted to give glory to God for that, and to encourage you guys to pray to God, to trust God, and that God does provide. He takes care of you, and if you have a need, He will make it happen. So that's it. God bless you. Have a good day.